Dr. Paul Craig Roberts joining us. The toll-free number to join us now is 877-590-5525. All over the country, 877-590-5525. And if you're listening to us out of the flagship station we transmit and syndicate out of, News Radio 590 KLBJ, it's 836-0590. In a moment, I'm going to get into one of the biggest federal land grabs, if not the biggest ever. And I read the bill. I can't believe I'm in America. And I'm Alex Jones. I expect all of this. And then the Federal Reserve, offshore owned, is announcing it's taking over the entire country, all businesses, no Bill of Rights, no Constitution, makes the Patriot Act look like heaven. I'm going to recap that and then go to your calls. But I wanted to bring up Sarah Hudeberg because I forget the news we cover how bad it is. A week and a half, 2 weeks ago, a caller calls in and goes, have you seen the Clean Water Restoration Act, 787? And I go, no. I pull it up. It says a puddle, rainwater, anything. The feds own your property. They can shut it down. They can take it. Worse than the animal ID, worse than the premises ID for takeover. I read it, and it says no warrants, come on your property. They're going to set up new divisions. This is the way the Green Corps is going to get on your property. And the New York Times reported Thursday that they're hiring felons for Obama's Green Corps. Felons. Look, you can't make this up. Felons are coming to your ranch and farm. I was looking at like 5 acres out in the hill country on a creek and thinking, oh, can I get that place to run to with my family? Now it won't matter. Little guys with ponytails and machine guns are going to show up and say, lick my boots or you're going to die. And this isn't a joke. Text of S787 Clean Water Restoration Act, and that some folks in the state are upset. I've read about this. Again, this is Texas fighting, and other states, I guess, aren't. I know that Sarah Hudeberg, a reporter here at News Radio 590 KLBJ, also has some clips of some of the Cattlemen Association groups, but this is a show all over the nation. Please fight S787 because this sucker has passed out a committee going to the full Senate, and they're saying they've got the votes for this. I mean, again, total takeover. Sarah Hudeberg, tell us what's going on.
Hey, Alex. Yes, the bill, it already made it out of the Senate committee, and as you already said, it gives the federal government authority over all water in the United States, even on privately owned land. And KLBJ talked to Jason Skaggs. He's with the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association. I'm just going to go ahead and play a sound clip of him right now.
Essentially, this bill would make every stock tank, every creek, puddle, stream, any kind of water body in the state of Texas would be under the jurisdiction of the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers. A bill which we feel is one of the largest land grabs in recent memory by the U.S. Congress. This bill would remove the term navigable from the definition of waters of the U.S. If this law were to go into effect, the federal government would now have control over numerous bodies of water that they currently do not. And that's a burden on Texas property owners and landowners that is just completely unnecessary and just a big grab on the federal government's part.
Sarah, thanks for that report. You say you've got family that are in ranching. So do I. They've all been harassed building a new barn, anything under the Wetlands Act. And so people litigated and defeated that because there was no federal jurisdiction. If you had a puddle, they would try to force you off your land or force you to sell. Austin has land grabbed over 20,000 acres under the guise of that, and later they build hotels on it with their buddies. But give us your quick take on that.
Well, I do have an uncle who's a cattle rancher near Victoria, Texas, and I know that he would not be happy to hear about this bill at all. And the Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association, they're urging the U.S. senators from Texas to vote no on this Clean Water Restoration Act. And hopefully that will happen because this is just the government continuing to find ways to regulate the lives and freedoms of Americans. Absolutely. Plus, we have a 10th and 9th Amendment. I mean, the feds have never been able to do this before. Why are they doing it now? I don't know. They're just trying to find more ways. I mean, more ways to take away our rights and get into the privately owned things in our lives.
Absolutely.
Seems like.
Absolutely. Well, I know you're going to continue to cover this here at News Radio 590 KLBJ. Sarah Hudeberg, thanks for coming on.
Sure. Thanks, Alex.
You bet. Thanks for that report. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I'm like somebody in a batting cage, and they got 5 machines turned up on high speed shooting balls at me, and I can't hit half of them. I mean, and I'm getting hit in the head with them, and and then I have all this mainstream news where world leaders are meeting calling for one-child policies and forced population reductions, and I read it from mainstream news on air, and I come in, and I hear Dr. Dean Edell on the air before I go on saying none of it exists. No, S787 does exist. And, yeah, I mean, it's insane. That's why I played Napolitano earlier. For a week, I've been ranting and raving saying this new bill allows the Federal Reserve to run everything and take everything over. In fact, they don't even need this 787. They can control all the waterways. Anything connected to commerce or the economy, they run it. And that's what all the martial law executive orders state. It's just now they're taking that away from the president into an offshore banking system that engineered the crisis we're now under. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just begging everybody out there listening to me to get angry, to get focused, to get upset, and to begin to discover the things I've discovered. I mean, it's not hard. You listen to a local talk radio station, you're going to hear on the news about this. I mean, this stuff isn't hidden. This stuff is real, and it's true the CIA is trying to overthrow Iran right now. And they're going to go in there and blow that place to daylights if the public buys it. This is all a big show for you, and I don't like the mullahs. The point is, we are the most hated country on earth because criminals run this nation, ladies and gentlemen. And the good news is Obama's approval rating has dropped from over 80% in the last 4 months to 58% and dropping. So people are getting wise to him. But by the time they get wise to him, they'll put some fake Republican in, and then I'll go from being called a right-winger to being called a liberal. You know, when I'm bashing Bush, I'm a communist, and then when I'm bashing Obama, I'm a right-winger. No, I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a rule of law. I want liberty. I don't want to be overrun with bureaucratic thugs. I know the CPS is run by a bunch of pedophiles on average stealing kids. I know they're doing it without due process. Folks, the crimes of this government, it isn't a government. It is a clearinghouse for criminals to rape us, financially, physically, spiritually, psychologically. I got articles here where in 1 year, 26% increase in Prozac use by the public. I mean, the public's all a bunch of drugged out, drooling zombies. The criminals are running wild. And anybody with half a brain is just trying to keep their head down. I mean, you know what? This is a recipe for disaster, ladies and gentlemen. And I told my wife today, I was sitting in the backyard with my children, and I said, I'm not just saying this. I said, I've sworn to stay here and fight for this country, but I may get my family out of the country. I am 2 inches away. I'm 2 inches away, and I may and I'm sick of dealing with it and then trying to hustle and get sponsors and fund the operation and get the word out just to have people say, oh, you just want to be a big shot. No, I want out of this, man. I wish this wasn't true. I have to go against my instincts and go against my own fleshly desires to just go live in a little house somewhere. That's what I like. And have lots of time off with my family. I am a regular guy. I'm just some aggressive, redneck stock Texan who loves freedom and liberty, and I'm not a slave, and I know when a tyranny's coming down on me, and I'm not going along with it. And I don't know what's wrong with you people out there. You understand hardcore tyranny's taking over the country? I mean, it's so bad I can't even tell you how bad it is. It's so evil I can't even express how bad it is. Let's take a quick call here. Let's talk to Ruth in Florida. Ruth, you're on the air.
Hey, I totally see. I don't know what's wrong with everybody.
Well, they're drinking sodium fluoride.
Yeah, probably. I did have a good little incident the other day. I love to have good signs. I work in a little donut shop, and in the morning there's this little old lady. She's about 70 years old, comes in and gets donuts for her little push cart in the college over here. And as of next week, she's out of a job because they've decided they're going to bring a corporation in there and let them sell food.
Oh, yeah. Why let a slave sell something on the street corner? Now, they're arresting Amish for selling eggs.
I know.
SWAT teams are going to hit you and hit you hard. It's over.
In the little strip that I work in, there's a little Job Corps office place, so a lot of people show up there. Some of them a little bit scary, but people looking for work, desperate for work.
Well, you're not allowed to sell hot dogs or donuts anymore. And if you don't like it, a SWAT team's going to kill you deader than a hammer.
I know. Well, it turned out between myself and this nice little old lady and this young black man, about 20, 30-something, you know, they started talking about the corporations and coming in. And I was just getting tingly because it's so hard to find people that are willing to discuss this stuff. And here we were, you know, me, I'm 52, and then this nice little old lady and this.
I'll tell you what, tell me what they said when we get back.
Hey,
Ruth, stay there. I want to hear what they say when we get back. Don't hang up. I got a break. We're going to go back to Ruth. We're going to go to John, a few others on the other side, ladies and gentlemen.